Welcome to ChessWire. I'm your host, Adam Carter, with your chess news. Today is Thursday, September 8th, 2022. Today's stories include Hans critics suddenly silent, Kasparov says it's time for Magnus to tell the world why he quit the Sinquefield Cup, and last, who is the Sinquefield in the Cup? We do a bit of a deep dive. All this today on ChessWire. We're going to get straight to a pretty funny tweet here from Peter Hein Nielsen. 9-hour Chicago-Helsinki flight. The person sitting next to me asks, "What do you do in the US?" Me? Chess coaching. Him? Really? What do you think of all the recent chess drama then? Oh boy. I bet you that was an awkward one. See, Peter Hein Nielsen is one of Magnus's coaches. We'll go ahead and get on to Hans Niemann's tweets now. This first one from last night. The silence of my critics clearly speaks for itself. If there was any real evidence, why not show it? GM Hikaru has continued to completely ignore my interview and is trying to sweep everything under the rug. Is anyone going to take accountability for the damage they've done? I thought this was a pretty great question. I tweeted back, everyone knows Hikaru did what he did because he thought it's what XQC would do. See, Hikaru, I guess, back a while ago had done some streams with XQC, and he's become a pretty great content creator, you know, entertaining and all that. And so I think that when he saw this news break, this wasn't really anything about, I think, Hikaru actually having anything against Hans per se, but he was just like, this is going to make me money. This is the biggest drama we've seen since Bobby Fischer. Let's go ahead and move on to the next Hans tweet. This one came right after the first last night. The first one was at 6:46 p.m. This one was at 7:05 p.m. He says, Hikaru plays the victim, but seems to forget dedicating hours of his stream to criticize all of my interviews with frivolous insinuations. Perhaps he deserves some blame and should take accountability for what he said. At least he has 42% more subs now. And then there's a clip here of Hikaru. Let's check that out.
A lot of people have said things to me. A lot of people have said things to me. And they've said things, I've always brushed it off. And like, then this Magnus thing happens and I bring it up and now everyone's just going to blame me for it. And like I said, there are people who've said things to me who, like Art Chess, for example, adore and idolize compared to me, who've said this for the last couple of years. But, you know, I'm the one who's going to get blamed for this, apparently. Which is just kind of annoying.
Okay, I couldn't understand much of that because he was playing some, like, girl game or something. I don't know what the hell that was. I think that the Hikaru should share some blame. He is clearly the largest chess influencer on the planet right now, I believe, next to Magnus Carlsen, especially because he's streaming all the time. Sometimes I've seen his streams up to 19,000 people. His videos are getting hundreds of thousands of hits. So yeah, if he's going to dedicate, you know, a lot of time to criticizing Hans and bringing down this hammer on him publicly with, we know how internet trolls can be once they get their hands on something, and attacking, you know, this young man, Hans Niemann, because of what he said, yeah, there is some blame there. You know, I'd say an apology, you know, would go a long way, especially coming from you. Let's go ahead and move on to Garry Kasparov's tweet. This was clearly directed at Magnus, obviously, and he said, I will not delve into the ugly insinuations of the matter now, but must remark on what we do know. World chess champion Magnus Carlsen withdrew from the world's premier tournament in St. Louis, an act with no precedent in the past 50 years, and his explanation is required. Now, there was something that I liked here at the beginning of the tweet, and so we can expect more. He says, I will not delve into the ugly insinuations of the matter now. So I think that we can expect something else to come from the world's greatest chess player. So we can expect that from Kasparov. We'll keep our eyes peeled for it. Next, he tweets out, Carlsen's withdrawal was a blow to chess fans, his colleagues at the tournament, and the organizers, and the rumors and negative publicity swirl in a vacuum to the game. The world title has its responsibilities, and a public statement is the least of them here. And I would agree with that. if you're the world champ and you withdraw from a tournament, and there's, nobody's done this in the past 50 years. We saw Bobby Fischer not show up to the World Chess Championship against Boris Spassky in one of the games, giving the win to Spassky. So, I mean, since then, we really haven't seen anything, and I think it is time for an explanation. We'll see if that ever happens. And I was commenting, I said, I think this was a compelling ask from Kasparov, especially because Kasparov went into that match with Deep Blue, which turned out really to be just a money-making scam for IBM. Who knows if Deep Blue actually beat him or not, or if he was getting help from any GMs in the back room. We don't know, but what we do know is this about that Deep Blue match, that IBM stock rose around 30% after the match. So the next thing that I wanted to get to was, who is the Sinquefield in the Cup? This has been a buzz around the internet. I've been seeing people ask questions on Twitter. I've seen them ask questions on Twitch during people's live streams. And so I thought we'd take a deep dive here. I am myself from Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, so just a few hours outside of St. Louis. I know the name Rex Sinquefield. I've seen it before in a lot of different ads, whatnot, for different political candidates. So we'll go ahead and check him out. So this is from worldchess.org, worldofchess.org. U.S. Chess Hall of Fame inducted 2020. Raised in St. Louis, lifelong chess player Rex Sinquefield has transformed his hometown into the chess capital of the United States. In 2008, he founded the St. Louis Chess Club with his wife, Dr. Jean Carnes Sinquefield, and they later provided the funding to move the World Chess Hall of Fame to St. Louis. The St. Louis Chess Club has become home to championship chess in the U.S., hosting numerous national tournaments, in addition to bringing the benefits of chess to over 60,000 students. So this is some pretty good stuff right off the bat, but we're going to go a little bit deeper and find out who this guy is. This is from Politico magazine. Rex King, stock baron, goes all in on Missouri politics. This is back from August, July of 2014. In the 1970s, he pioneered the first index funds, investment vehicles that strictly track a broad portfolio, financial assets such as the S&P 500, leaving no room for individual error or hunches. He did so by capitalizing on a theory honed by his intellectual mentors at the University of Chicago that such passive investments in the overall market would outperform even the best stock pickers in the country. Private investment managers can't beat markets, he likes to say. The 69-year-old retired multimillionaire is now betting that he can pick political winners and losers back in his native Missouri. Sinquefield is among a small and little-known but powerful group of big money donors who have shied away from national politics to advance pet policy issues in their home states. This guy is a big political donor. I've known that for a while. We're going to find out more about where he's donated to, who he's donated to, but a little bit about his roots. They're pretty humble. Unlike Charles and David Koch, the better-known GOP donors who inherited their father's an oil gas fortune, Sinquefield carved his own path. The St. Louis native who spent his early years in a local Catholic orphanage and even considered entering priesthood, went on to study under the University of Chicago economics, Eugene Fama and Merton Miller, Nobel Prize winners, known for their let the market sort itself out views. So this guy is not some spoiled rich kid brat, son of a millionaire. This guy's the real deal. He came from an orphanage, came from nothing, and built it up himself. We're going to go ahead and move on here to the Missouri Independent. This was back in January of 2022. With the 2022 statewide elections just around the corner, Missouri's most prolific political donor is breaking out his checkbook once again. Rex Sinquefield, a retired investor from St. Louis, didn't make a single political contribution in 2021 until December 11th, my birthday. Since then, he has donated $675,000. Most of that comes from two $250,000 checks, one to a political action committee supporting state treasurer Scott Fitzpatrick campaign for state auditor, and the other to a PAC supporting Lieutenant Governor Mike Keogh. It doesn't seem like he's a king picker either. It seems like this guy is picking candidates based upon his beliefs if they align with those. But definitely, these are Republicans. Now we'll head on to Balapedia. Rex Sinquefield, a Missouri philanthropist and political donor. He is also a co-founder of the Show Me Institute, a think tank in St. Louis. According to him, he uses his donations to back candidates who are already support position he favors, rather than using the funds to persuade candidates who do not. So again, not a kingmaker. He's saying, okay, this guy aligns with what I think, so I'm going to go ahead and help them out. I'm not going to try and persuade them to pass initiatives that I want passed. Career Rick Sinquefield was raised in Missouri. His father died in his early childhood, and he was partially raised in the St. Vincent Home for Children, visiting his mother periodically. In '81, Sinquefield co-founded a California investment firm, Dimensional Fund Advisors. Let's take a look at his political activity. Rick Sinquefield has donated to several ballot measure campaigns in Missouri with the focus on his primary policy interest: education, income tax reform, and local control. In particular, Sinquefield supports school vouchers, the elimination of teacher tenure, income tax reform, and local control of the St. Louis, Missouri police force. So it seems like when we have these ballot initiatives and referendums, he'll be in there. Candidates, according to Political, Sinquefield donates to candidates of both parties who support his public policy positions, but tends to favor Republican candidates. As you can see here, he has donated to some Democratic candidates in Missouri. And that pretty much wraps it up for Rex. I'd say, he's taken a lot of money and put it into chess. I know these days politics is quite divisive in the United States. I've never seen it so divisive. So you're going to have people that think he's great. You're going to have people who think he's awful. And then you're going to have some people in the center who think, well, I don't like this, I like this, so on and so forth. I don't necessarily agree with all his politics, but all in all, I think this seems like a pretty good guy who's a true believer. Thanks for all of the Chess Hall of Fame and Chess Club bringing that all into Missouri. Well, that wraps it up for today. Thank you for watching ChessWire. Have a good one.